Hey guys, welcome back to HOI4. Unfortunately, we have to restart because when I tried to load up my game today, it just wasn't there. So I don't know if it got corrupted or what, but unfortunately, I have to start afresh today. I really wanted to continue that campaign because I was getting ready to invade France and Belgium. Now, I wasn't sure if it would succeed, but we were getting ready to do so, which was really a bummer for me, unfortunately. But without further ado, let's get into this Reich campaign. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, guys, I'll show you something here once I get to the Reich here. It's not game related, it is setup related. I just want to keep you guys posted. You'll notice that my camera is not on the screen, okay? And that is because my editor has a feature on it that essentially picks and creates my shorts for me, okay? And I wouldn't have to do as much. Now that being said, we're gonna try it that way, and I'm gonna try and flood the algorithm with YouTube shorts from this game. Now if it's a different game, I'll be using a different setup. Now I have different scenes for different things, okay? This is my Paradox game scene. So anything to do with Paradox from now on is not going to have my face in the corner. Just know that. But I'm doing that so that I'm able to put out shorts faster, okay? In some places, or some games I should say, this shorts feature does not work very well. But in terms of Paradox games, it typically does. So I'm gonna try it this way and see how we do. If we don't do as well, then I'll go back to showing my face. But I think if we can get more YouTube shorts from this game, then we'll get more subscribers. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so I'll see you guys in a bit once I get this army set up here. Alright guys, we got our army set up. Now, I usually don't use this guy early on in the game, but I put one of my best commanders with this army here with the 24 divisions because it actually has the panzer divisions this time. So I figured since he is infantry and panzers at the same time, that is primarily why I'm doing that. I'm not gonna go down the 4-year plan. I'm actually just gonna go with this one. In my opinion, it is the better of the two options in that case. But we are going to do things a little bit different here. Slightly different, to tell you the truth. First of all, I'm going to put 10. No, that uses pretty much all our factories. So let's say that we want to do 5 factories on fighters right now, and I think we'll do 5 on support equipment because we'll need it, and then on top of that we'll stick 1 more on close air support and leave it at that. Actually, to tell you the truth, we probably should take that off at close air support and put it on artillery. Okay, that is all of the current factories allocated. Now let's do a special project. In this series I'm going to take my time, guys, because I want to learn. Like, what I want to do is I want to win the nuclear arms race, okay? Well, I was recording the previous episode before everything got, well, trashed without my knowledge here. I was actually in the process of making the first nuclear bomb, so I almost did do it and almost used it, but as it were, God had different plans, I guess. Not exactly sure. Let's get the 19th weapons and stuff right now. I always want to start with the first couple basic technologies here. That's the backbone of everything, honestly. So I'm gonna choose our customary technologies that we usually do, and then I'll go to engineering and get our research speed. There we go. Alright guys, I got our ports allocated and ready to go at this point in time. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be doing things a little bit different here. You'll notice that at the beginning of the episode I put like a whole crapload of factories on fighters. Okay? That is because instead of going through Poland at the beginning, we're going to go through the Netherlands. Now, why are we doing that? Well, little trick for you guys if you haven't done it yet. Probably some of you have, but I'm sure not all of you have done this. What happens is if you go to war with the Netherlands early on in the game, very early on in the game, the Dutch Indies will join the war with the Netherlands because the Netherlands own that property. Okay? Well, the Dutch Indies, let me show you what I'm actually talking about. If we go to the rubber section here, you'll see that the Dutch Indies has the most rubber. We have a shortage of -9, okay? Generally, it is very easy to get out of this deficit by yourself. It is not hard at all. However, if you capitulate the Netherlands early game and the Dutch Indies join them, you can capitulate both and you get all this rubber. And it becomes more and more each time you increase technology. So at one point in the game, I had 400 something rubber and 20 something factories on airplanes. And I still had 400 rubber left. Like, I'm not joking. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna capitulate both, and then I'll probably end the episode there, and you guys can let me know what you think in the comments. Also, that being said, when we actually do go to war with Poland, we're going to be fighting the Brits and English at the same time. Okay, that's the other trade-off. Yes, we get out of the rubber deficit, but we're gonna have a harder fight in Poland. So if you guys have any suggestions for that fight, feel free to put them in the comments. Alright, that should be enough for 4 civilian factories for right now. Now, immediately after that, here's what I want to do, okay? I'm gonna start to put the research facilities in here, okay? We'll start with the 3 naval facilities, and then, okay, that's 3 naval facilities. Now, let's move to the nuclear facilities. We want to get these facilities in the ground as quick as possible. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna go with 4 of these specific facilities. The other facilities, we're probably gonna go with about 3 for each. And only 1, actually 2, for the infantry facilities or ground war facilities, whichever you want to throw in there, because we already have 1. So it would add up to 3 anyways, okay? That is 3 air facilities. Now let's get 2 more ground facilities. There we go. Now, after this, I want to do the military factories. There's going to be a military factory in each province of the Reich. And that's including another ones once we get it. I'm going to put a little bit more in the other ones in that regard as well. But military factories are kind of the most important out of all the factories. Yes, if you don't have enough civilian factories, your construction is crap. I understand that. But military factories have a little more of a priority because they actually run your war machine. There we go. Now we just wait until we get 50 political power and go from there. Yeah, we'll have Fox work on those. Here we go. See if we can't speed this along a little bit here. We're running on 4 times speed here because I want to hurry up here and get to the conflict here. 10 more political power. So I'm gonna right click here and just wait until we actually have the political power to do that. I don't know if we should switch to partial mobilization again before we do something like that, but I don't know, because that's what that economy policy actually does, is it goes back to civilian economy. But overall, it is better economic tree than the 4-year plan. Yes, before I forget, I want to get this. No, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking of something else. I was thinking about the aggression stuff. I want this to be very aggressive. Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna wait until I go partial mobilization, and hopefully that is still early enough. I would think it would be, but just trying to make sure that we get our industry back to where it was. I think that's more important than that. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about real quick here. You'll see that we only have 9 factories working on this and 0 factories working on the other. We used to have 15 factories working on the first one here, but since we went and did that national focus, it went to civilian economy temporarily. So I have to switch back. As you can see, the MIFO bill is now expired, which is a good thing. That's what we want to do. Alright, we got 20 more to go before we can switch back. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start this war goal, and what that should do is I should at least have 100 or something left. Yeah, close to 151 left. So that didn't take all of our political power. Now we just need to save up to switch back to our partial mobilization that we had before. And as you can see, there's only 2 factories working on that. So as you can see, that's why we have to switch back to partial mobilization, because this stuff would never get done if we just left it. 20 to go, guys. Actually, 40 to go. And then we'll switch it back to partial mobilization, at which point I'm probably gonna prioritize supply lines for a little bit, just so we can get proper supplies flowing through there, so we don't have shortages or anything like that. There we go. That should give us some much needed civilian factories. Let's get the Pack 36. There we go. We're now researching the Pack 36. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the reliability on the Mauser company, because we're gonna need reliable weapons for sure. And we got 20 to go, and then we'll switch back to partial mobilization, which is going to be a crucial step, actually, to tell you guys the truth, because I need to crank out the railroads next to the Netherlands so that we can get proper supplies flowing in that particular area. So I'm going to move the railroads up, be prioritized on a temporary basis, just to make sure that we have enough supplies coming through here. Okay, we got 150 political power, so at which point I'm gonna go from civilian company to partial mobilization. And as you can see, we now have 15 factories working on the top one. I'm going to go to the supply map and see if I can't fix the supply issues we have down there. Make sure that the depots in this particular vicinity are at their optimal. There we go. Now we have 12 factories working on that. But for now, because we need supply flow through there, I'm going to really prioritize the depots or the supply lines right now. As we get more civilian factories for free, that building speed should increase. It might not look like that the economic policies that I'm choosing are the greatest right now, but as the game goes on, you'll find out why it's better. But I do want to prioritize these railroads to be priority right now. No question about it. Which might sound counterintuitive because we still have all of those the civilian factories to build, but guys, we can't have crappy supplies flowing there. If we do, we're still gonna win because the Netherlands is really weak, but we're not gonna be able to do it as fast if we have supply issues. Actually, I'll move the 2 biggest ones to the top there. There we go. Alright, now we wait pretty much so for the war goal to be completed. That's pretty much all we do now. We got some free civilian factories that should help. How's our construction going now? Yeah, we already have 14 factories on those railroads right now. So I'm just gonna continue going down the tree here. There we go. And that should give us some more, which should be 15 out of 15. And then a little bit more on the second one. I think it should be 15 and 1. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's how it is. Right now we have pretty good supplies right now, but the deeper we go into their territory, it's gonna get worse. Like I said, even if we don't complete all these, we're still gonna win, no doubt about it, because they're a pushover. But it's gonna be easier if we have enough supplies flowing through here. When is this war goal actually complete? Let me see when that is actually completed here. December 25th, 1936. So Merry frickin' Christmas, Dutch. You get invaded on Christmas Day. Isn't that classic? Merry frickin' Christmas. Ho ho ho! Yeah, now we're starting to flow through these supply connections. I think I should do these ones as well. The naval base supply depot thing. It's just my opinion. Make sure that the supplies is just absolutely awesome. Through here, we're probably not going to be able to build all of it by the time the war comes, but we should have enough in place where we shouldn't have any shortages, I wouldn't think. And that supplies is going to benefit us in later wars too. I'm prioritizing supplies because that's what we actually need to get done right now. But there's going to come a time where we're not doing that. We're actually prioritizing military factories, that sort of deal. I don't think we would get done with the naval bases in time for the war, but I do think we'll get done with the railroads, which is probably, in all honesty, all we need to do. I'm probably going a little overboard with that, but it's a little less that we have to do later on in the game. I'm gonna get this only because it increases our production and it's not that terrible of a debuff. So I think that's what I'm going to do as of right now. Supplies is essentially fixed as of right now, but the more supplies we can get in that area, the better we're gonna be. So I'm just gonna let them just complete what they can complete before this whole thing gets kicked off here. I'm definitely, instead of going with the mountain troops, I'm definitely gonna research some airborne as well and get some airborne planes being built, etc., etc. Because I think that's how we're gonna fight France and England. I really think that's gonna be the easiest way to do it. Build a bunch of fighters, get air supremacy, and then drop airborne behind the Maginot Line and the cross over into England. But of course, going over to England after France has fallen. Okay, we got the flamethrower tank. I've never actually used that, to be perfectly honest. Let me know if it's any good in the comments, guys, because I'm not even sure if I've never used the flame tank before. I'd like to hear what you guys think about that, because I know for a fact I'm not the only person that has most of the DLC at this point. Most of it. I think I only have like 3 pieces of DLC yet to go. Something like that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna stick our passive XP guy in here and start to get some passive military XP so I can start to allocate the artillery into the design of the divisions. Let's get production efficiency. That would be great. Yeah, we're gonna get all of the railroads at least, I would think. I could be wrong, but I think we're gonna get most of them, if not all of the railroads put in place before this whole thing kicks off. So we shouldn't have any supply issues at all, I wouldn't think. Yeah, our supplies through that area now is really blue, which is fantastic. And we're not even done yet. So we might have all overdid it, but you can never have too much supplies flowing through an area. It's actually convenient. Yeah, after the conflict, I'm just gonna end the episode here, because we're already over an hour. but it will be nice to get my feet back into Hearts firing and creating content that you guys like to consume. Again, I apologize for the fact that we had to restart and everything, but like I said, stuff happens, can't do nothing about it. Okay, I'm gonna go with breakthrough. That'll help with our artillery. Okay, awesome. Okay, now, once this hits 60 XP, I'm gonna put some artillery inside the basic infantry for right now. I think I am going to use trucks, just like the previous playthroughs. However, at the beginning here, I do want to use the basic infantry that we have at our disposal. Now, I could put anti-tank in here, but I feel like we don't really have the factories to be doing that right now. So I'm going to just put the artillery in here right now, and then we'll go from there. I will switch out one of them for anti-tank, but I want to get our things going in the right direction before I do that. So how does that affect us in terms of logistics here? We're short 1,152 artillery. That is craziness. Actually, we're just short 600 something. Okay, you know what? We're gonna switch these over. I take the trucks down for right now. This might not be the most logical, place to, put stuff, but we do need to get out of this deficit, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to get out of this deficit as much as I can with what we have. I'm actually going to cancel the close air support for right now because we got plenty of factories coming, guys. Right now, I just want to dig into this artillery shortage as much as I can right now in a short amount of time. And when I say we got more coming, as you can see, we have more coming, okay? A whole crap load of military factories, not counting the ones that we're going to capture from annexing. And so right now, I'm just going to worry about what we got shortages on. Still kind of short. Okay, we got the war goal done, guys. So let's slow this down so that it doesn't get away from me here. Okay, I was wondering what that event was. I wasn't sure if we got a war goal on Switzerland or something because of it. But let's get going here, guys. Get the Air Force in place. We're gonna put them on our main biggest army right now, close air support, and I think that should be enough. Honestly, I don't think we're gonna need that much of a Air Force for the Netherlands. I really don't. So let's just continue and let's get into their country and take what they have. Boom. Okay, let's check our construction queue right now, just out of curiosity to see where we're at. No, we didn't get through them all, but we did get through most of them, so that is good. We shouldn't have any issues, I wouldn't think. See what we do. Nice. Really nice. This is going fantastic. Really fantastic. Going up to 90 really quick. This is great. This is fantastic. Absolutely awesome. And supply connections are being connected. I mean, we're doing absolutely fantastic. This is absolutely great. I don't think we're gonna do it in 50 seconds like we did the one time, but we're definitely having no problem here. The one start of the campaign, we did this within 50 seconds. It was ridiculous. And I know this because when I got done chopping it up and short was actually done and they had capitulated and stuff like that, it took them 50 seconds to do all that. It was absolutely crazy. Absolutely fantastic. I would have expected nothing less. This is going absolutely fantastic. And we're probably going to see capitulation real quick here. Real quick. I think they got a few more battles in them maybe, but not too bad. It's genuinely January 3rd. Happy freaking New Year's too, Dutch. That's what that is. That's a great year. That's a great way to start your new year off, bro. Not really. That's a terrible way to start your new year. But for us, it's a great year. That's for sure. For the German war machine, it's a freaking great year. But when we did this in 50 seconds, guys, we had much larger force than we have now. We had a very much larger force than we have right now. So I didn't expect them to do it in 50 days, which is about 2 days or so, whatever, 3 or 4 days. Now let me show you guys this trip. So we're gonna annex the Netherlands, and we're also going to annex the Dutch Indies. Now look at what that actually does. Hang on, I had to clean up from when I coughed here. Let me show you what that has done. As you know, we took the Dutch Indies and the Netherlands. Now look at the result, guys. It is just ridiculous. So if we go to this, you can see that we now have 200 rubber. Okay, that is plenty of rubber to be getting on with. All right, that is fantastic, and we're gonna have plenty of rubber to make hundreds, thousands of airplanes. And I believe that's gonna be the key to beat the Allies, to be perfectly honest with you guys. So I don't know if we'll get into that in the next episode or not, but we will definitely start building up in the next episode. But until then, I will see you guys later, and don't forget, I love you guys and I care about you guys, and God bless. Have a good day. Don't forget to push that like and subscribe button for me too. It really helps the channel out. Thank you. I'll see you guys in a bit.